अखियाँ प्यासी रे, दर्शन दो घनश्याम, माता जब तू खोले पंचम सूर्य में गूंगा बोले, मार दया का जब तू खोले पंचम सूर्य में गूंगा बोले, अंधा देखे लंगड़ा चल, अंधा देखे लंगड़ा चल, पहुँचे काशी रे, पहुँचे काशी रे, दर्शन दो घनश्याम नाथ मोरी, अखियाँ प्यासी रे, दर्शन दो घनश्याम। पानी पीकर प्यास बुझाऊं, नैनन को कैसे समझाऊं, आँख में छोड़ी छोड़ दो अब तू, आँख में छोड़ी छोड़ दो अब तू, मन के वासी रे, मन के वासी रे, दर्शन दो घनश्याम नाथ मोरी, अखियाँ प्यासी रे, दर्शन दो घनश्याम नाथ मोरी, अखियाँ प्यासी रे, दर्शन दो घनश्याम। गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम, नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम, गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम, प्रणवानंदानंद चंद, प्रणवानंदानंद चंद, स्वामी गुरु मम गुरु सच्चिदानंद, स्वामी गुरु मम गुरु सच्चिदानंद, नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम, गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम, नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम, गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम, शांति विधायक गुरु गोविंद, मंगलकारक सद्गुरुनाथ, शांति विधायक गुरु गोविंद, मंगलकारक सद्गुरुनाथ, ईश्वर अम्बा प्रिय कन्हैया, ईश्वर अम्बा प्रिय कन्हैया, नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम, गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम, नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम, गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम, नवानंदानंद चंद, प्रणवानंदानंद चंद, स्वामी गुरु मम गुरु सच्चिदानंद स्वामी गुरु मम गुरु सच्चिदानंद नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम धायक गुरु गोविंद मंगलकारक सद्गुरुनाथ शांति विधायक गुरु गोविंद मंगलकारक सद्गुरुनाथ ईश्वर अम्बा प्रिय कन्हैया ईश्वर अम्बा प्रिय कन्हैया गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम नमन करो गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम आनंदानंद चंद प्रणवानंदानंद चंद स्वामी गुरु मम गुरु सच्चिदानंद स्वामी गुरु मम गुरु सच्चिदानंद नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम नमन करो मैं गुरु शरणम सद्गुरु शरणम बोधरा शिव गौरी सुता लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता हे शिवानंदन हे शिवानंदन सुभानना गजानना शुभानना लंबोधरा शिव गौरी सुता लंबोधरा शिव गौरी सुता हे शिवनंदन भव भय भंजन हे शिवनंदन भव भय भंजन शंभ कुमारा गजानना शंभ कुमारा गजानना शंभ कुमारा गजानना शंभ कुमारा गजानना लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता हे शिवानंदन हे शिवानंदन गजानना शुभानना गजानना शुभानना लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता हे शिवानंदन भव भय भंजन हे शिवानंदन भव भय भंजन शंभ कुमारा गजानना शंभ कुमारा शंभ कुमारा गजानना शंभ कुमारा गजानना लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता हे शिवानंदन हे शिवनन्दन गजानना शुभानना गजानना शुभानना लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता लंबोदरा शिव गौरी सुता शिव गौरी सुता शिव गौरी सुता हे मधुसूदना हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना दामोदरा हे मुरलीधरा दामोदरा हे मुरलीधरा भुवनत्रया हे भूमिनायका भुवनत्रया हे भूमिनायका हे माधवा हे सूदना हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना शरणशता करुणाकरा शरणशता मनमोहना हे रघुनन्दना मनमोहना हे रघुनन्दना हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना दीनावना भव भयभञ्जना दीनावना भव भयभञ्जना जगन्मोहना हे जगन्नायका जगन्मोहना हे जगन्नायका हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना दामोदरा हे मुरलीधरा दामोदरा हे मुरलीधरा भुवनत्रया हे भूमिनायका भुवनत्रया हे भूमिनायका हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना हे माधवा हे मधुसूदना सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै शांति शांति शांति। Together we'll chant Bhaj Govindam verses 5 to 15, please. Bhaj Govindam verses 5 to 15. Bhaj Govindam Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate Samprapte Sannihite Kale नहि नहि रक्षति डुक्रुन्करणे यावद्वित्तोपार्जनसक्तः तावन्निजपरिवारो रक्तः पश्चाज्जीवति जर्जरदेहे वार्तां कोऽपि न पृच्छति गेहे यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायौ देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारोऽयमतीव विचित्रः कस्य त्वं कः कुत आयातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रातः सत्संगत्वे निस्संगत्वं निस्संगत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः वयसि गते कः कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः मा कुरु धनजन यौवनगर्वम् अरति निमेषात् कालः सर्वम् मायामयमिदमखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा दिनयामिन्यौ सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तौ पुनरायातः कालः क्रीडति गच्छत्यायुः तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशा वायुः काते कान्ता धनगतचिन्ता वातुल किं तव नास्ति नियन्ता त्रिजगति सज्जन संगतिरेका भवति भवार्णवतरणे नौका जटिलो मुण्डे लुञ्चितकेशः काषायाम्बर बहुकृतवेषः पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढो रुदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेषः अंगं गलितं फलितं मुण्डं दशनविहीनं जातं तुण्डं वृद्धो याति गृहीत्वा दण्डं तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशापिण्डम् भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति डुक्रुन्करणे. So in the Vedanta Treatise. We are in the chapter 8, culmination of human life, in which we are studying the personality chart of the dissection of human being, and we have covered the portion of the knowledge, jnanam, and actor, karma, action, action, karma, and actor, karta. So we are studying in the some portion of actor. We have to complete the actor first, and then we will go to the intellect. So this is most important to analyze where we stand and what is our current assessment of personality, so that how much we have to travel to reach the self. So the quick recap is very, very easy to understand. To simplify this entire whatever we covered, I will make sure that you keep reminding yourself, even though you remember. The jnanam is three varieties, three types. One is the sattvic jnanam, which is unity in diversity. If you have sattvic jnanam, you see the oneness in every diversity, every plurality, every heterogeneity of things and beings. You see the self in all beings, then you have sattvic knowledge. If you don't have sattvic knowledge, what you have is rajasic jnanam, which is where there is a unity, you see the diversity. It's just opposite of sattvic jnanam. Where there is oneness, you see heterogeneity, divisions and demarcations. Pluralistic phenomena, you give importance more and more if you are soaked in rajasic jnana. And tamasic jnanam is no jnanam at all. It is a knowledge with which you see part as a whole. Fanaticism, fundamentalism, rigidity, the adamant, stubborn, no truth or foundation backing your knowledge. You just blurt out whatever comes to your mind without rationality, without support, any bearing of the reason or logic. That is the tamasic jnanam. So we have to step up our mission from tamas to rajas, and from rajas to sattva, and ultimately go beyond sattva to reach the enlightened state. That is our purpose of our life in this human birth, human life. Now come back to action. Action is karma. Also we covered there are three types of actions. What type of actions you are performing, you must examine. Actions: sattvic action, rajasic action, tamasic action. Sattvic action is that action which is obligatory duty and responsibility. It does not spring from personal like or dislike. It is not having any fruit in the mind, a result in the mind. It is not propelled by egocentric notion, and it is free flowing. It is no attachment to action, no fruit of action, no attachment action. It is pure sattvic action. Whereas rajasic action is desire ridden action, which is desire ridden with egoistic notion, I do it all. Action coupled with longing for fruit, attachment to action. These are the factors which govern the rajasic action, defines rajasic action, which is very, very tiresome, stress and strain. So that which is opposite to sattvic action, which is effortless, freely flowing. And tamasic action is that action which you perform with confusion and delusion, no clarity, ignorance. You do actions with ignorance, action with no regard to one's ability or capacity, action with no botheration, carelessness towards the consequences of your action. Don't care attitude. I can be there without sleeping every night. I can bear any amount of drink, alcohol, nothing, raw I can stand. All actions which are destroying your life, health, or whatever, your money, your reputation, your name, your family, everything it is. You don't care about the consequences of action. Tamasic action, action with delusion, confusion. Those actions, people take loans, inappropriate loans, without having any idea how to pay back. So there are so many actions have to be analyzed, or their actions are irresponsible to the consequence or loss or injury to oneself and others, without the speed biking, speed driving. Don't care about the lives of others and yours, and damaging property of others and yours, alcoholic driving. So actions which ruins one's strength and vitality. You literally ruin your life with these tamasic actions. Offend the human dignity and prestige. It is against human prestige and dignity not to live up to the human being is tamasic actions. Then we have also touched upon actor. This is most important. We also touched upon what type of actor you are. You are, no doubt you are acting, but are your actions you are producing? Whoever produces actions called actor, the individual. In that there are three types again. Or you are an actor of sattvic type, rajasic type, tamasic type. The simple three types. A sattvic actor is one, as already we have some idea about the action and knowledge. The actor is one who is always cheerful, dhruti and utsaha. Actor which is always happy, peaceful, cheerful, joyful, smile-faced. Nowadays you see anybody, they are always depressed looking. Person who is, you see the people who are like CEOs, directors of companies. Morning they are going to office, see their faces. They are always in the depression mode. Just about to go to funeral function, they are looking appearance. There is no cheer. Life has to be smiled. Life has to be take it easy, kind of a smile face. But the face is so gloomy, depressed. This is the current state of affairs. Even though death is threatening every second to the life of Lord Krishna, but always, never ever, his face is denied of smile face. We say, what a prasanna vadanam, is always cheerful, joyful. This is the quality of a developed, spiritually developed person always cheerful and joyful, always smile faced. Today you are scared of going to anybody. Even children are agitated and suspicious. If you talk to them, they are like worried. Hello, there is no, how are you, sir? Good morning, good evening, nice to meet you. How are you? If you talk like that, they think it is abnormal. Why is asking, how are you? Very, very, very deteriorated intellect today. Very, very sad state because there is no sattvic actors today. All are rajasic or tamasic actors. Sattvic actor is one is ever effervescing with energy, energetic. His energy is more and more bubbling by actions because he is a sattvic actor. He has no I am the doer attitude. Therefore, he is all the time not egoistic, not actor of egoism. Therefore, his actions are coupled with divinity, peaceful, cheerful. His actions is an actor of commitment. Whatever he takes up, he completes the action. He will not leave that activity in the middle. That is sattvic actor. He is having extraordinary concentration skills for any action he takes up. He is a sattvic actor. Shraddha, commitment, consistency of purpose. He is peaceful and joyful. Is all along not interested in the fruit of action. Is disinterested in success or failure because he is interested in action and action alone. Not interested in the attachment or fruit to any kind of outcome, result of that. It least bothered. Action for the action's sake. You study Vedanta just to master Vedanta to reach the ultimate perfection. No interest in who is wrestling, whether you reach it or not, whether anybody receiving or not. You don't care. It is a subject to be learned, studied and taught. Whoever wanted to just give it away and pass it on. No expectations whatsoever. That is sattvic actor. Just do what you ought to do. In all along his course of activity, he is disinterested the result thereof. He maintains a balance of mind. No extremes. Very, very balanced. Very, very detached. Very, very cool. No ups and downs, fluctuations of life. He is not in roller coaster. He is a beautiful actor, perfect actor, sattvic actor's qualities. Now, when it comes to rajasic actor, second one, this actor, you know, he is a rajasic actor who is full of, he is a passionate, victim of passion, desire ridden. His actions with lot of rajogunam, means desire, worried, tension, stress, strain. There is no relaxation. Worried and anxiety. Worries and anxious about everything. Attached to action and fruit of action. Is agitated, all the time disturbed, mental tension. You can see, you don't need much to explain this because everybody is having this type of mentality and they are the actors of rajasic type. They are deprived of enjoyment, they are not energetic. Little bit of action they do, they get tired, they get exhausted. Because of worries and anxieties, they get stressed out. Their their past and future constant oscillating, fluctuating. Because of that mind, they get quickly exhausted and suffering from stress and strain. So this is Rajasic actor, and that actor, because of lot of desires, these desire-ridden actors called Rajasic actors, they always hurt themselves and hurt others. In dealings, day-to-day life, they hurt themselves, they are hurtful, they are corrupted, they try to fulfill the desire by manipulation, by unscrupulous ways. They don't follow any ethics or morality. They don't care about any kind of values. They just want to fulfill their desire, hell bent on it. They want to go by hook or crook. They wanted to fulfill their desires. They break customs and traditions. This is Rajasic actors. When they meets opposition, they are hurtful. Whoever opposes them, they are hurtful. They hurt others. You can see Ravanasura, you can see Duryodhana. All these fellows are Rajasic actors. You would adopt unscrupulous ways and means to gain their personal ends, their selfish needs they want to fulfill, and constantly buffeted, tormented by joys and sorrows arise from the selfish behavior. This is their attitude. Rajasic actors, always buffeted by the joys and sorrows and remains agitated and worried and anxiety throughout their life. This is the nature of Rajasic actors. Opposed to Sattvic actors. Sattvic actors, no egoism, no desire propelling their actions. So they are free from that. They are energetic, joyful, cheerful all along in success or failure. These people are victim of success and failure. The opposition, they are completely opposite to Sattvic actors. So they are greedy, craving for fruit of actions, all the time fruit in the mind. That is Rajasic actors. What I get out of it, what I get out of it, out of my action. All the time interested in fruit, not on the action, on the result all the time. Next comes the third type of people who are Tamasic actors. An actor which is Tamasic type, a person who is no goal, no higher ideal in life, no purpose in life. They just existing like any other stone or wood. They are living total ignorance and delusion. They are totally, even compared to Rajasic actors, they are more worse. They have no plan or program for, there is no goal in life. As a result, they don't have any commitment or steadfastness. They tell one thing in the before night. See, I meet so many students in colleges. Everybody says in the evening, sir, morning we are ready to join yoga session. Morning we will come and we will attend. They will tell what? Before, in the night. After they go to bed, the morning the story is different. Every minute they change. Their own commitment they can't stand. There is no commitment at all. This is Tamasic actors. I will give the money. They will tell by so and so time, date, I will give. And they will promise, but they will postpone, they will avoid, they will escape. Whatever they are promised. In every facet of life, they don't stand to the commitment because there is no commitment. They are Tamasic. Because there is no purpose. They are like a feather in the breeze, completely in ignorance and delusion and totally took over by the Tamasic guna. So no purpose, no commitment, no steadfastness pursuing any course of action. Whatever they start, they will disconnect then and there itself. There is no resolutions, there is no commitment, because there is no intellect at all. And very, very important, there is bereft of culture and refinement. There is no culture and refinement. Means they are vulgar, they are very, very bad, rough and rude, and what is that called? Derogatory language. For their fulfillment of desires, they can use any language. They use bad language. There is no culture. See, in Shakespeare, the Desdemona, the great character of the lady in Othello, she is so nice, so great, crafted by Shakespeare in Othello. Her character is defined that she is so pure, so noble, so great. Her nature is, her character is, that he defines. She is of so apt, so blessed a disposition that she holds it a vice in her goodness not to do more than she was requested. She used to give whoever comes to that Desdemona, the wife of Othello. Anybody comes for help, she used to give money, she used to give whatever the food or whatever the thing, she used to offer anything, and she used to feel sad, feel bad about that. Perhaps she used to feel that he needed more. So she feels, wise in her goodness not to do more than she was requested. She was requested, she has given already whatever requested. I want 100 rupees, she gave 100 rupees. But she used to feel bad, perhaps he needed more, I have given less. She used to feel like that. That is the noblest character ever portrayed in Shakespeare's play. But the Othello, the black fellow, that fellow who has no intellect, he suspected the Desdemona for infidelity, and he killed her with that suspicion. But in that play, Othello calls that this Desdemona had an affair with somebody else, because the Desdemona is a white lady. So he got in Othello, the husband, has an inferiority complex. So he always used to suspect her, even though she is good, noble, and nice character, but that fellow's weakness, he got jealousy. So he used to suspect. So he calls all bad words. In one of the situation, he calls it a whore, W-H-O-R-E. Whore means a prostitute. This Desdemona could not take that word. She is crying. She could not utter that word, use that word. Whereas the maid who is working in the same palace, her maid, Desdemona's maid, she simply uses, why the Iago, the minister, the fellow who is lieutenant, he comes and asks, why are you crying, my lady Desdemona? Then Desdemona says, my husband told that word. Am I that word? Am I that Iago? What is that word? She will not tell. Many in our Hindu tradition, we don't, the family, ladies, they don't utter husband word. They always refer to my son's father, is my son's, my daughter's father. They don't utter husband word. That is the refinement, that is the culture we belong. Even Lord Krishna, in his entire Bhagavad Gita, He always uses proper nouns. Mahabaho, Godakesha. So, various beautiful names they use because of culture and refinement. But when you go down below culture and refinement, he told it, she did it, who did it? So he, she, and then further, there is a bad language. This is the tamasic quality when you drop your culture and refinement. So these tamasic actors, they have no culture, no refinement. They are vulgar in thought, word, and deed. They are vulgar. They are bad nature. And also they are stubborn. Whatever they are having ideas, wrong ideas especially, but they are stubborn. They are adamant. As we already discussed in the knowledge also. They are fanatic. Jesus alone will save me. Nobody else. All are wrong. I am right. These tamasic actors have this attitude of stubbornness, obstinately attached to the way of their life. Everybody has to follow them. They don't follow anybody. That kind of a wrong way of life with attachment, not with intellect, with the mental bondage. They always have that bad habits. See, some people who have this dry fish eating and all this low quality of, putrid, polluted, the contaminated food they will eat. The, soaked and 3 days old and deep fridge, it is been there kept for so many days. The pickles, the bad, which literally kills them. Such kind of wrong, those kind of things, they're attached to the way of living, the way of life. They are deceptive and misleading. So you can't trust them. They are all the time deceptive. They always changes. Whatever they say, we can't rely on them. They will say today they will come, tomorrow they will not come. You can't stand on their commitment. So you can't expect them. So they are deceptive. If if you give them work, they will spoil the work and they will damage the work, and they may steal or break or do whatever it is. Deceptive and misleading. So they always have misleading attitude. Malicious in dealing with others. Always have that negative mind. Always, malicious. So they always think that about the good person also, backside they'll think that fellow is bad. He's going to kill us. He's, all this bad nature they have. They worship ghosts and spirits. In the scripture they say, they always this, black magic, this lemon and all these superstitious, they will tie those actions which are very, very tamasic quality. They tie all sorts of, that rings, that, belief system, fanatic ideas, different stones they have. All these things are tamasic actors. They believe in all sorts of things. They are malicious in dealing with others. They are basically lethargic. They don't sleep entire night. If they sleep, they don't wake up. Lethargic. And they are indifferent, careless towards the obligatory duties and responsibilities. One day, this fellow in our watchman, whole night he slept by drinking, and then he switched on the pump, what is that, overhead tank, and then he forgot. And TV is on, electricity on, bulbs on, everything on. And the secretary came and told him to vacate the house and get out. So they don't care about their duties and responsibilities. They are indifferent, heedless. They are drunkards, all these drug addicts. These are all the kind of people who are tamasic actors, indifferent to the life, heedless. They damage themselves and damage others, irresponsibility. And also, all the time they talk about negative things in life, pessimism. They remains ever despondent, always depressed mood. Depressed. Tomorrow we may die, the roof may fall, whole world come to an end. They talk about all the bad things, negative things, whether there is no life, everybody will die. The despondent, depressed in life. Their attitude is always in depression mood. This is tamasic actors. Very, very, very bad character they have. Remains ever despondent, depressed in life. And also, any work you give, first idea is postponement. Lot of time is there, no. So much we can do it later. Let us do it tomorrow. Let us do it afterwards. Still lot of time is there. So the tendency is to postpone, procrastinate. Dekhenge karenge later on. This is the attitude. You can find many of these characters in here. Most of the people. So you can't rely on them, you can't give them anything, you can't depend on them, you will be in trouble. If you give them any work, you will be in danger. This is tamasic actors. So tamasic actors are those who are, you have to understand, that actors with no ideal in life, no higher purpose in life, no goal in life. They are deceptive and misleading. They are procrastinating attitude. Their natural general tendency is to be depressed and stubborn, adamant, and their no steadfastness. They don't have culture and refinement. They are not polite. They are very rude and vulgar in their thought, word, and deed. They are stubborn. They are negative. They are always try to for their selfishness, for their satisfaction, they can do anything. There used to be one family, the workers' family. That fellow used to, is a tamasic actor. That fellow used to take the money from his own wife who is working, watchman's family, who is working in 4 or 5 houses, and collect the money by cleaning the vessels and maintaining the houses. That money that fellow takes. And if she objects, that fellow beats her, takes the money, goes out drinking fully, comes back and beats her, and whatever food she cooks for himself and others, he eats everything and fully sleeps. He don't care about anybody's existence except himself. Such a kind of person is this tamasic actor, extreme, a stubborn, obstinate with the way of living. Whatever the way of living, they follow that life without having any proper culture or refinement or the consequences. They don't do any responsible things. They are irresponsible in life. They don't perform any obligatory duties. They don't take up any responsibilities. So this is the tamasic actions. So they puts off actions without completing. Whatever you give actions, they don't perform it. Even though they perform, they don't complete, they don't fulfill them. This is the tamasic actors. So we have to step up from tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva. That is our goal. If you don't have purpose or goal, immediately we have to fix the higher purpose and goal of life. To reach self-improvement, self-development, self-realization is our goal. And we have to plan and program. That is the sattvic actor. And make sure you don't get into desire-ridden, egoistic, stressful, because which leads to stress and worries and anxieties. From tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva. This is the order. Now we get on to intellect. There are 3 types of intellects: sattvic intellect, rajasic intellect, tamasic intellect. What intellect we possess, what intellect we have, we must thoroughly understand. So, what is sattvic intellect? So, Intellect is the equipment in you which thinks, reasons, judges and analyzes and decides. This is the intellect's job. So what the sattvic intellect's quality? A sattvic intellect is that intellect in you which clearly distinguishes, clearly analyzes, clearly demarcates what action to be executed, what action to be renounced, give it up, what to take up, what to give up. The clarity sattvic intellect has. If you have a sattvic intellect, you execute actions which are obligatory duty and responsibility, means which evolutionary, which helps you to growth. That actions which are makes you devolve, makes you deteriorate, which this intellect indicates, recognizes and drops them. You know, if the intellect is there, sattvic intellect is there, you know clearly the action and renunciation, the distinction between path of action and path of renunciation, means which road to take up, which path to give up. That clarity you should have. Then only you can say that you have a sattvic intellect. You change that, you get into tamas and rajas. What to take up? See, path of action. Everybody, nowadays, yoga is a path of action, good to take up. But bhoga, path of renunciation, you should be given up. But people take too easy way, bhoga and not yoga. This is because that indicates there is no sattvic intellect. If you don't have a sattvic intellect, you can't choose which is path of action, which is path of renunciation. So what to take up, what to give up. That action which takes you towards the higher, to reach God, to reach enlightenment is, you have to take up, which tells you, sattvic intellect will tell you. That which is worldly, that which is negative, that which is in the caught up in birth and death, all this suffering and life, samsara, you have to give up. Which one which helps you to give up? Sattvic intellect. You have intellect, but is it having sattvic quality or not? You must check. You must verify. You must question. That is the sattvic intellect's first duty, first action, first point. What sattvic intellect indicator is, that path which is clearly distinguishes between path of action, path of renunciation. What to give up, what path to give up, what path to take up. Having done it, you have chosen that, okay, this path takes me towards the higher end growth, towards evolution, towards success, towards peace, towards enlightenment. Having chosen what is to be next job, sattvic intellect alone will tell you. In that path, what is that swadharma, what is paradharma, what is your field of activity which your nature compatible with. See, suppose you are engineering minded, you can't do acting. If you are an actor, you can't do cricket. If you are a cricketer, you can't do doctor. So what is your nature? What is your swadharma? What is your tendencies? What is your predominant nature? Are you an actor? Are you a teacher? Are you a musician? Are you a player? Are you cook? Whichever field. Are you a business interested? Are you a politician? Which field compatible to your nature? You are born with the nature tendencies, vasanas, which predominantly helps you to evolve. It's like a Tendulkar is born with the tendencies of cricket. Suppose you put him in medicine and become a doctor because his father has got a multi-storied hospital. that is a tragedy if his father forces him to study MBBS and MD, Doctor of Medicine, and become a surgeon. How many people would have been died in his hands? Because he is not that nature. His nature is cricket. So he is a great Nobel Prize winner. What is that? The Bharat Ratna winner in the cricket. Because his nature helped him. He found out very early age he belongs to cricket. So what is that which clearly pinpoints your nature is if you have sattvic intellect, you can fix that swadharma, your field of activity which you belong. What field of activity? Even though you have various educational backgrounds, but what field? Are you in a business field? Are you a profession? Are you a carpenter? Are you an engineer? Or a plumber? Or a lawyer? Whatever field you are comfortable to take it up, not because of external lucrative market, outside conducive, outside very easy. That is not the criteria to select. The criteria is your born talent, whatever your inclinations, your personal nature, your swadharma, own nature, what you are born with, that must be understood only by sattvic intellect. Then your growth is easy to evolve. So sattvic intellect is that which clearly defines what is the path of action and renunciation distinction. Second one is chooses that field of activity which is most suitable to your inherent nature. Like we are studying Vedanta. I am having this interest, inclination, this nature. What is that? Studying Vedanta is my nature. I am not interested in studying engineering, medicine, or any other subject. That is my nature. I am not having that nature of studying other subjects. So if I select Vedanta and study, it will help me to evolve. So if I have sattvic intellect, I follow. Even though I belong to parents, my parents belong to engineering, or they forces engineering, or they do anything, but you refuse to choose. You choose what are you best suited at. What is your nature propelling? That is selected by sattvic intellect, buddhi. And having chosen, so the 2 points, one is path of action, path of renunciation. Second one is choosing the field of activity. Third point is having chosen the field of activity, whatever you belong. In that field, if you have sattvic intellect, it clearly distinguishes between what actions are executed based on obligatory duties or what actions are personal likes and dislikes. That clarity has got. What is that got? Sattvic intellect, if you have, you make sure that every action is an obligatory duty or responsibility without bringing in your personal preferences, likes and dislikes. You should have a sattvic intellect to do that. Whether I like it or not, I have to do that. It ought to be done. That way of conducting is done by sattvic intellect. So having chosen the right field of it further decides what ought to be done, what ought not to be done. Not based on personal likes and dislikes. It is an obligatory duties and responsibilities sattvic intellect dictates. A sattvic intellect directs you, and also having found out your obligatory duties and responsibilities, sattvic intellect alone makes sure the duties and responsibilities fulfills them, completes them, makes sure concludes. It is not halfway. It will give up. It will complete the entire course of actions of obligatory duties, responsibilities till the project is completed, not in the middle, halfway. And avoid involvement in any activity outside this sphere. So it is make sure sattvic intellect helps you not to get attached, involved in any other activity other than what you are committed to. Your focus is clear. You suppose from here to Hyderabad you are supposed to reach. You don't sway away by somewhere in Vijayawada, you got out some circus going on. You get down the car and got involved in circus or some kind of party meeting, something. Your goal is Hyderabad. You will not leave. If you have a sattvic intellect, if not, you will deviate and get into all sorts of attachments and involvements in the way of journey towards the enlightenment. This is the sattvic intellect's job. Avoid involvement in any activity outside this sphere, because the human being alone faces this dilemma of choice of action. All the time he has to choose what is benefit to him, what has to be not beneficial, he has to discard. The dilemma of choice, what to take up, what to give up. No other creature, no other species, no other animal has this problem of choosing their activities except a human being. Therefore, the other creatures denied this. Because they are already protected by nature, they have been already given this capacity of choosing by default, because they are born with that talent. Inherently, they are provided. So they don't need to choose. They live that life, perfect, disciplined life, all other animals. But individual human being has to be using his intellect to choose every action by conscious choice. So the life throughout is, whereas the human being has been given the freedom of choice. So the William Shakespeare in his play Hamlet highlights this dilemma of choice. In oft quoted words, to be or not to be, that is the question. So is Hamlet the Prince of Denmark? He is been portrayed, that quotation is to be or not to be, because he faced with the tragedy, highest tragedy. His father was murdered by his own uncle, and his mother was married within a month, and he faced the great tragedy. And father comes in a ghost form and tells the truth, and he is on the verge of top of the precipice to decide to live or to die. That choice in the Hamlet Shakespeare, to be or not to be, that is the question. Is the sattvic intellect has the clarity. Sattvic intellect has the 100% clarity to choose one's course of life, how to steer his life towards perfection, towards the enlightenment. Only sattvic intellect has that power. So you have to develop sattvic intellect to make sure your life is proper. Sattvic intellect has additional properties. What is the major another property? It understands. Sattvic intellect understands what is to be feared, what not to be feared. See, people take to sensuality, materiality, intelligence in the world, intelligence in the money, intelligence in relationships, intelligence in the name, fame, power, position, status, family. All this, they are happy, they are glorified, they are, indulging in them. But that is going to remove your strength and vitality, ultimately gives you sorrow and suffering. Nobody understands. And the path of self, path of knowledge of supreme, path of spiritual guidance, path of guru, path of enlightenment, path of controlling the mind's attachment towards the higher purpose, unselfish cause, the people go against. They don't like. They are scared of that. Oh, in this age you are going to Vedanta. How are you going to live? So if you study Vedanta, take up Vedanta, people are scared because they have no sattvic intellect. So they give importance to worldly life. You have to settle in the world. They glorify what is danger, what is quicksand, what is going to destroy you, give you suffering. People tamper, people promote, people advise without having clarity that you must take up the self first. Self is permanent. The self knowledge takes you to rescue you from the all sorrows of life. But people don't have that clarity because no sattvic intellect today anywhere in the world. So sattvic intellect is completely gone. No guidance, no support, no plan, no program anywhere in the world. Sattvic intellect is not at all addressed at all, developed at all. And people are where they are. Even the first mantra of Adi Shankaracharya's Bhaja Govindam talks about the sattvic intellect. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modhamate, Samprapte, Sannihite Kale, Nahi Rakshati Dukrun Karane. At the destined time, and the time comes, all this money, all this name, all this fame, all this power, all this position, status, all this family, your own people reject you. They will not rescue you. They will not save you. What saves is seek the self, seek the higher, seek the knowledge, seek the God, seek the knowledge of higher values. Bhaja Govindam. 3 times he repeats. Alas, because to recognize, they think what is, whenever you say Bhaja Govindam, very good, it is very nice, sir. A very nice song. Bhaja Govindam is very excellent. They just simply, emotional satisfaction, and they reject. What they do? Sensual indulgence, they give importance. Material acquisition, they give importance. Material enjoyment, they'll give importance. The world, they give importance. The self is no importance. What is to be feared? World has to be feared. Senses has to be feared. The acquisition, enjoyment has to be feared. But they don't have fear. And what is to be not to be feared? Vedantic study, not to be feared. Yoga, not to be feared. The knowledge of God, unselfishness, help others, not to be feared. If you help others, how can you get help? So the whole thing is opposite today. But if you have sattvic intellect, you have a clarity, what to be feared, what not to be feared. You have that clear understanding, and you give up what is danger to you, you take up what is beneficial to you. In any way, we will continue this further about sattvic intellect in depth in the next class. Thank you very much. Hari Om.